Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is Tuesday, October 25th. In this video, we are looking at the Draftkings and Fanduel 4-game slate. So it's the first 4-game main slate of the season. These ones typically you can run through pretty quickly. There are some injury news, especially in that OKC game that we're going to have to focus on. But let's get started. Always, if you enjoy the videos, please share with the like button, subscribe if you have not already. Starting off with the point guard picks today, we have Luka Doncic sticking out above the rest. At $11,100, he is by far the most expensive player on the slate. Nobody else is even getting close to, well, nobody's even above 10K. So he has at least $1,000 on the next most expensive guy, which is Steph Curry. And Doncic played pretty well so far this year. He's put up over 30 points in each one, flirted with triple-doubles in both games. You could say last game was a blowout. So he only played 30 minutes. He lost about 5 to 6 to 7 minutes in that one. Probably would have put up 80 plus the way that he was rolling in that one. And there's a ton of value with the Clippers guys, with the Thunder guys that going to start out by putting in Luka Doncic. Other guys at point guard would be Devin Booker for sure at 9K. McCollum, depending on Zion news. We know Ingram is already out, so he's going to have to carry the load a little bit more. I like McCollum more than Cade Cunningham. 7K for Chris Paul looks pretty solid. 62 for Poole looks good. And like Trey Mann, put him in at shooting guard. He's going to have to do a lot for this Thunder team. He's going to get a big spike in usage. They're without SGA and they're without Josh Giddey today. So they still have a lot of bodies. Somehow they still have like 10 to 12 guys that they can still put out there. But Mann is going to definitely benefit with the ball handling responsibilities. He can make some shots coming off of an 0 for 6 last time out from three-point land. I think he'll bounce back, and somebody's going to have to score. Somebody's going to have to facilitate. Trey Mann, Lou Dort, those guys are probably going to be at the top of the list. Other picks, moving over to shooting guard picks at this position would be Devin Booker at 9K. He's played really solid so far, shooting at a really high clip. Maybe he can do a little bit better with the rebounding, but overall you're not going to be disappointed with him. And it's going up against the Golden State Warriors, who have given up so many points so far this year. We saw them give up so many points to the Kings last game. Don't remember the exact number. Gave up 125. At halftime, I think both teams were north, like the Warriors were at like 80-something points at halftime, I believe, and the Kings were at like 70-something. So it was just an absolutely insane game. But Trey Mann or Devin Booker going up against this defense, you should be able to do some things, and we have a lot of value to make it work with him. Bradley Beal's not been as aggressive this year in some of these games. He's taken 14 shots, 17 shots. Hasn't really got to the line a ton. They do have other guys that, like Kuzma's been aggressive, that Porzingis will take usage. But Beal's going to come. He's going to have some big games this year. It's a good matchup against Detroit. I just like some of the other guys like Booker and McCollum a little bit more. Other picks below 7K would be like Jaden Ivey. Has done a good job for the Pistons, been very consistent all 3 games, putting up north of 30 fantasy points. He's 68. There's some better pricing, but he's in play for making a lot of teams. And value-wise, looking at the Clippers and the Thunder guys, so like Terrence Mann will get some run. Luke Kennard could start for them. Moving over to small forward. Yeah, Kawhi Leonard, no Paul George, and no Morris today, so he's still probably going to come off the bench. He maybe gets a little bit more minutes. They said he wasn't on a strict minutes limit last time out, but he just played 21, but they wouldn't expect him to play much more than 23 to 25. Maybe he gets up there to like 23 or 25 without Paul George today. It is a dream matchup against the Thunder, getting all that extra usage off the bench. Wiggins has done awesome for the Warriors, signing that nice extension. Hasn't disappointed, putting at least 20 points in all 3 games and playing some great defense with 3 steals in each of the last 2 games. Dort, I like him a little bit more than Sadiq Bey. But Bey's also definitely in play just with the rebounding that he'll give you and the shot attempts, and he's done a good job of getting to the free throw line. Lots of good options in the 4K range. I'm going to start with Norman Powell, though. He's going to see probably close to, I'd say 30 minutes would be what I have on paper. Bit of a blowout last game against the Suns, so he just played 21. But now not having Paul George, also not having Morris, there's going to be a lot of shot opportunities and a lot of scoring, some rebounding, assisting, and a lot of usage to go around. And the price tag on Powell has come down a little bit from last game, 200 less, in a great matchup against the Thunder. for a guy that will take usage and will take shots. Just a matter of him knocking them down. Over at power forward, you have Christian Wood's been coming off the bench, but just kind of, he's still seeing almost starter level minutes. 24, 25, maybe sees a little bit more as he kind of gets more acclimated with the Mavs, but has been crushing it on a points per minute basis. Other picks would be Draymond Green. You could see him got 28 minutes last game. Maybe he gets closer to 30 against the Suns. It is a marquee matchup. He's a guy that will fill up categories or get you statistics in all categories. Some games going to struggle and give you under 20 fantasy points, but it just seems like one of those days where he'll get up for a game against the Suns, and I could see him putting up a very solid stat line. So at that price tag, he's definitely in play. You could go to Bogdanovic if you're not convinced about Draymond. He's going to take shots and play good minutes as well and take a lot of threes, and he's a great shooter. Value-wise, possibly you can look to Cam Johnson here at 48. Robert Covington, I like him as well. Chance that he will start in place of Morris. They could either start Robert Covington, or they could start probably Nick Batum. If it is Covington, he's a guy that will get you rebounding, get you some defensive stats, especially against a young Thunder team that will turn the ball over at a high clip. Moving over to center, you have some pay-ups, guys above 7K. I like Valanciunas, especially if there is no Zion. He'd look really good. Great price tag on DeAndre Ayton against the Warriors, which will place a bit small at times with Draymond at the 5. He's been in a bit of foul trouble last game with 5 fouls and 5 fouls the previous game. He's had 2 great games, 1 bad game last time out against the Clippers. Against the Warriors, what should be a high-scoring affair. Fast-paced, more rebounding opportunities. Hopefully he gets a double-double, but the price tag is definitely reasonable enough to play him anyways. And then don't even mind Zubats. Of course, the last 2 games been playing him. He's been really bad, but no Morris, no Paul George, more usage, more rebounding, and probably will get some more minutes as well. So he looks solid. But these are the 5 guys I have plugged in right now. Definitely, probably the Suns look really good. They're getting a lot of the value from the Clippers Thunder game. Still waiting on the Zion news, but McCollum looks pretty good. Obviously, you're going to be looking to get to Luka with all the value, and then probably the first game is one that doesn't look as appealing as the rest, but still you can get to pieces from that game, like Porzingis and Kuzma and Beal. That's what I got for DraftKings. Let's go ahead and talk about FanDuel. All right, so on FanDuel, point guard picks, once again, starting with Luka Doncic, just a tough fade on either site on a 4-gamer with all the value that we have. We also have some great pricing down here with, like, Chris Paul is pretty affordable at 74. He's 7K on DraftKings. Looks good on both sides. But looking at below 5K, Trey Mann definitely, and then Reggie Jackson. 2 guys that really stick out, especially Trey Mann. Over at shooting guard, you have a great price tag on Booker at 85. He looks great. I like him more than McCollum, but both guys look appealing. 7K, don't have really anybody that sticks out too much. 6K, Jaden Ivey looks okay, but you can get to Poole instead. You get to Dort instead. But we have one guy that is going to be almost a must-play, in my opinion. That's Norman Powell at $3,900. If you liked his $4,800 price tag on DraftKings, you're going to love his price tag on FanDuel at $39. It's just pretty ridiculous for a guy that could see 30 minutes, and we'll see a lot more usage and scoring opportunities without Paul George and Morris. Small forward, like I said, where I don't even mind taking a shot on Kawhi Leonard at 7K. Looks a lot better than his $8,300 price tag on FanDuel, and even if he sees like 24, 25 minutes, or even if he sees 23, 22 minutes, he could still, give you at least 5 to 6x at 7K, and he's being similarly priced to Kuzma and Sadiq Bey, and there's a chance that Leonard will be lower owned than both of those guys, just with people scared off on the minutes. But it's just a chance to take advantage of the opportunity without Paul George and Morris there, if you want to take a bit of a risk. Other picks would be going with a value guy and like Covington. It's only $4,400. He looks good. If he starts, you have Baisley will probably come off the bench still. But one Sun guy that I like is Cameron Johnson. Just with the Jay Crowder situation, he's been starting and playing pretty well, giving him about 20-plus fantasy points. He can do a little bit better than that on games where he gets hot from 3. And it should be a high-scoring affair against the Warriors, the way that they've been giving up points this year. Over at power forward, where I'll probably plug in Porzingis. Just not a ton of great options here. I like Porzingis more than Kuzma, just with the blocks and stuff that he'll give you on FanDuel. Leonard is in play, I'd say, just with the lack of great options. Draymond looks good at 59. Covington at 44. Those guys the ones I'm looking at the most. And then last but not least at center, you have Valanciunas, depending on the Zion news. But it's going with DeAndre Ayton on both sides right now. And then I would take a shot on like Zubats here, potentially at 57. But just think that the Suns-Warriors game is going to be one where probably want to get to at least a couple of guys, at least from the Suns side, even throw in some Warriors if you want to. Just the pricing is pretty appealing. And get to a lot of the value from the second or the third game, which is the Clippers Thunder. And you'll be set up pretty nicely, still have 65-50, plugging in these 5. So that's what I got. Thank you for watching. Best of luck. You can leave any questions down below in the comments section. And I will see you all next time.